Right then, welcome back to the channel. My name is Stephen Howson, and this is a tactical preview of Manchester United against Paris Saint Germain in the Champions League. And what a wonderful performance it was in the reverse fixture. Manchester United coming out winners with a couple of fantastically taken goals. And ultimately, we sit top of the league. So it's on Paris to come to Manchester, to come to Old Trafford, to try and beat us. And I think that plays into our hands very, very well. And I'm actually very confident going into this game. And maybe that's a bad thing, because when I'm nervous, we normally come out all right. But when I'm confident, we generally seem to mess it up. So Tuchel has played the same 4-3-3 formation in 3 out of the 4 Champions League games so far, including against Manchester United. So I definitely think that we're going to be experiencing that formation again from Paris in the return fixture. Navas should return in goal. Florenzi at right back, and I think it'll be Bakar getting the nod over Kurzawa at fullback. Marquinhos missed the reverse fixture, but he's now back fit, and I think it'll be him alongside Kimpembe at centre-half. However, don't be surprised if it is Marquinhos that ends up as the number 6 in this formation, with Diallo filling in alongside Kimpembe. Verratti should also return in midfield, and that is a big bonus for them, because I think they really lack that level of quality in midfield the last time that we played him, and the last time that we played them, and I think he'll feature alongside Ander Herrera, and it'll most likely be Denio Pereira over Idrissa Gueye as a defensive midfielder. Tuchel's front three obviously picks itself, with Di Maria, Neymar and Mbappe lining up for them in what is, let's be honest, an unbelievable forward three. And Kylian Mbappe is the star man that we need to be looking out for. Amongst the strong selection of attacking players that they've got, Mbappe is the pick of the bunch, and he's also having a very productive season. He's their standout attacking threat in the reverse fixture back in October. And he's also scored and assisted more than any other PSG player in all competitions, with 9 goals and 6 assists. So he's having a decent old season. Mbappe is averaging 0.94 goals and creating 1.18 chances per 90 minutes in all competitions this season, and he's finding a net every 96 minutes. Tuanzebe, I thought, did a fantastic job nullifying him in the first leg, and he probably should have done a little bit better than he did, and he could have easily punished United for giving him space in that first leg, but we got away with it. Unfortunately, we're not going to have Axel Tuanzebe in this game, and I think that's a big miss for Manchester United, because his ability to deal with the pace of Mbappe as they countered was fantastic, and it was an asset that we're not going to have in this game, and I think that's something that we have to look at mitigating. Mbappe also scored on his last visit to Old Trafford, and he's certainly going to be the man for us to keep quiet this time around. Right, I'm going to start talking about my Manchester United 11 in a second, and then we're going to look at how that 11 can exploit PSG. But before we get into that, there's a lot of questions I've got against certain players. Now, we have to record this video to get all the graphics done in time on Monday. So when this goes out, some of the information, and it might have been overruled by Solskjaer. He might have given an update on players. That's information I don't have at my fingertips at the moment. So the players, I've got question marks, and you guys might already know the answer to these. I don't know what's going on with McTominay. Tellez obviously came off against Southampton. He was holding his groin. Is that an injury? Is that a knock? We've got Luke Shaw. Is he injured? I believe he's back training, but not on grass. That was last week. Tony Marshall, what's the extent of his illness? We don't know. David De Gea, what's the extent of his injury? We don't know. Is Baye fit? Pogba, probably not going to be ready and available. Tuanzebe's not available. Ighalo, is he even alive? We haven't seen the guy in how long? Nemanja Matic played 90 minutes. Not the kind of guy that you want to have playing 90 minutes twice in a week. So I've got a hell of a lot of question marks about this team. So as I give you my 11, some of these players definitely won't play, but I can't give you any more than the information that I have at my fingertips at the moment. So Dean Henderson, I think, might start in goal. If there's any doubt over De Gea whatsoever, there's no doubt you play Dean Henderson. He's a fantastic goalkeeper and actually looked very assured when he came on against Southampton. I do go with the back three. I go with the back three of Wan-Bissaka as right centre-back, Maguire and Lindelof. I think the back three was so good for us the last time out that I think you have to replicate it. Tellez, I think he's probably going to overcome his injury. I don't think it was too serious, so I'm going to put him as left back or left wing back. And I'm going with Brandon Williams at right wing back, because we've got Wan-Bissaka tucked in behind him. Now, I'm going to throw a wild card in here. There's 3 potential positions that you could throw in Timothy Fosu-Mensah. Number 6, right wing back, and actually left wing back as well, or on that right-hand side centre-half. Timbo's got the pace to be able to deal with Mbappe. Now, if he's got everything else in his locker, that's up for debate, but he's certainly got the pace to be able to keep track with him, and potentially, if United do want to be a bit expansive, that's going to have to be something that you consider. How are you going to deal with the pace of Mbappe on the counter? Now, also interestingly as well, United, if they play a back 5 in this game, it's going to appear to a lot of people who don't fully understand the game that this is a more defensive setup than it would be if we played a back 4. Actually, I think it's a more attacking formation for United because of what it allows us to do. It allows us to hold more possession than we definitely would do if we played back 4. If we play a back 4, we're definitely just going to pump it forward. Without a shadow of a doubt, we're going to pump it into the channels. You might even try and see if Cavani can do the target man role. If we play a back 3, you might see United try and knock it around a little bit and try and play through the press, which is coming. So if it is a back 3 or a back 5, don't be worried about it. It's actually quite an attacking intent, and it's certainly what I would be going for if I was Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Now, midfield, a pair of 6s, Fred for that sheer work rate and energy, and Donny van der Beek alongside him. I want to see him in that defensive screen. I want to see him in that defensive covering position, blocking off the passing lanes. I want to see him being able to take the ball off the defence, move it into the final third. And I think he's just a very intelligent player. And as we saw at one point, him and Matic linked up fantastically well along the left-hand side as they were playing out of a very tough Southampton press. And I think that's something that we might need in the 11 against Paris tomorrow night. And then, of course, up front, Bruno Fernandes. I want a bit more of a disciplined performance from him. Can he do that hard work off the ball? Marcus Rashford, someone that we know that can. And Cavani also trying to exploit the space and try and get a goal against his own club. I'm sure he would absolutely love that. That's my 11. Why are we playing 3 at the back? Well, it works so well in the reverse fixture against PSG. Their main threat comes from the pace that they have up front. I've tried to bring in some pace into the back line to mitigate that. Either Wan-Bissaka, potentially Timbo. I even thought about Scott McTominay, but pace isn't something that you think of when you think about Scott McTominay, is it? Paris press with their 3 forwards, and often the 2 more advanced midfielders come up in there for support as well. Now, you may have heard the phrase press trap, or a pressing trap. Now, I think that United could easily lull them into a false sense of security with this. If you see the forward 3 of Paris push up, and then probably Ander Herrera, maybe even Verratti start pushing up as well, right behind them, probably on Fred and Van der Beek, this is where the likes of Brandon and Telles can come in and just find that extra man. Or if one of those has come inside a little bit, Van der Beek might drop off to one side. I think United can find an extra man in that press. Now, if they've all been pressed in our third, then there's definitely space, 2/3 of the pitch to play the ball into. This is where United can have a speculative dink over the top. This is where they can put it into the channel. This is where you can maybe switch it. We've seen Lindelof recently with Marcus Rashford for the penalty that we won against Istanbul. These are all manoeuvres that United can use. PSG are going to play a very high line. Marcus Rashford is going to be the major outlet where you can see forward direct balls into the channel from Telles. You can see switches of play from Lindelof or even Maguire. He's got that ability in him. And potentially even Donny van der Beek from deep as well. These balls over that high defensive line of Paris Saint Germain could absolutely kill him on the counter. And that's where Marcus Rashford earns his coin, depending on what level of injury and recovery rate he's at with his shoulder. But I think that's a big one for him. You've also got the crossing ability of Telles when United do get into the Paris half with the ball at feet. That's an area that we can look to exploit. Get those crosses in. Try and find Cavani. The aerial threat that we saw at Southampton, phenomenal. And I think United can score goals against this Paris team. It's how many can we limit them to? Can we manage to keep a clean sheet? If we keep a clean sheet, I think we score. And obviously that means that we win the game. And I think composure on the ball is the second thing that United need to look for. 3 at the back, composure on the ball. Being composed on the ball, because they're so aggressive, they press so high, I actually think it works to United's advantage. Not with Fred. Fred's not great at this. He needs to do the work off the ball and let Donny van der Beek be the guy that has it. If they commit 4 or 5 players to a high press inside United's half, getting the ball to the wing backs, looking for the runners up ahead, and being composed and confident. We saw that with Van der Beek. We saw that with Matic this weekend. And I believe in this team to be able to do that again as we go forward. United have struggled passing out from the back at times. Donny van der Beek kind of solves a lot of that on his own. Free at the back kind of solves a little bit of that on its own. Combined, a little bit of extra support, a little bit of intelligence when on the ball, and a little bit of composure, and United can do this. That's what I think. There's my starting 11. Let me know in the comments, do you agree, do you disagree, and what your score predictions are. I'm going for a tight 2-1 win for Manchester United, and I'll see you guys on the watch along over on Paddock. Laters.